So, yes, you are invited. And I want to tell you a little story, and then we'll talk about what you're being invited to. My name is Bonnie K. T. Dillabo. That's my writing name. And I am the author of a book series called The Dimensional Alliance. So far, 4 books have been published, and November 1st of 2022, the 5th book in the 9-book series will be published. I have published 5 books in a 4-year period of time. But I have to tell you, when I first started publishing, and I am self-published, by the way, when I first started publishing, I was clueless and I did everything wrong. I spent a lot of time, money, and tears trying to not only get my books published, but get them into bookstores, get them into libraries, and get them into the hands of people who wanted to read them. It wasn't easy. Any of you right now who are out there thinking about writing a book, thinking about publishing a book, or you published a book and now you don't know how to market it, you know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of work involved. It's happy work, and it's wonderful to see your name on the cover of a book. Probably almost as wonderful as seeing your baby for the first time. Okay. But that being said, it's not simple. It's not easy. And there's a lot of mystery surrounding the publishing industry. So once I got my act together and did all the research and did the learning curve, I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe I can prevent somebody else going through what I went through. Like I said, I spent time, money, and tears on things that were completely unnecessary if I had known what I was doing. And so I decided, after having some success with my books, that maybe it's time to pass some of this information on in a usable format. And so what I'm going to do is give you a small presentation about the Notions into Motion authoring network, what that's all about, and why that can make a difference for you if you are thinking of writing a book, you're writing a book, you're looking to publish a manuscript, or you have a book that needs promotion. Here we go. As I said, Notions into Motion Author Network. The purpose of this is to focus on your priorities. It's from writers to writers, and a guide to your author journey. And I had to think very carefully about how to organize this in a way to be most useful, because writing and publishing and promoting your books is a very complex thing. And most of the groups that I have been in, that I participated in, most of the mentoring and everything else, has got it all jumbled together in one great big lump. And I decided early on that needed to change. Okay, so that being said, there are 3 things, what I call the authoring trifecta. One is writing. Put your butt in the chair and write. Get the story down. Get it crafted. Okay, so what do I mean when I say crafted? Edit the heck out of it to where it's exactly the way you want it before anybody else ever sees it. And then you're going to find that it's going to need to be edited some more. And you're going to need to do some steps that are necessary to get it ready for publication. The second part is the actual publication of the book. Okay, what is the process you need to go through? There are 2 potential paths you can take. One is traditional publishing, and one is self-publishing or independent publishing. And we cover that. And the other is promoting your book. Once it's published, how do you get it into bookstores so that they're selling the books for you? Okay. My dears, if you're trying to focus on all of this at one time, you're going to have a struggle with it. I did. I just felt like I was just being dumped on, and 90% of the information I was getting wasn't right. It wasn't doable, and it got me into trouble, and it put me behind the curve. It took me a long time to really get up and running. Even after I published my first 2 books, I still didn't quite know what I was doing. It took me till book 3 to finally figure it out and to get a formula in place and to realize that this is being made way too hard, way too difficult. Okay. So what I'm trying to do is simplify this for you. All right. So I came up with this. You need to know where you are on your journey. Okay. Because where you are on your journey makes a difference as to what you need to learn right now without having to clutter your mind with a lot of details that you're probably not going to remember later anyway. Okay. So I have separated this into 4 separate stages of need. The first is I'm working on or want to work on writing a book. So whether you haven't quite decided yet that you're going to write a book or you're in the middle of it and slogging through it, what are the things you need to know in order to write a book that's worth somebody reading? How can you get some feedback on the things that you're writing? How can you craft your story in a way that makes it compelling to your readers? All of that is all contained in this I'm writing right now stage. Okay. The second stage of need is I want to publish a finished manuscript. I finally typed the end. Now what do I do? All right. Walking you through the stages that are necessary to actually publishing a book, how to find an editor or how to find an agent. If you're going the route of traditional publishing, how do you find an agent? Because you can't just send it directly to a publisher. They will not accept your manuscript. It'll go in the trash. Okay. So how do you go about approaching a publisher? Or if you're self-publishing, how do you find an editor? Because you're going to need an editor either way. How do you find somebody to do your book cover? Because I promise you, unless you are an artist yourself, and even then, you're going to need some guidance in that direction. How do you work with your team as far as publishing? Where do you go to publish? How do you publish a book in such a way that it will be available for libraries and bookstores outside of Amazon and still get into Amazon and all of those kinds of things? Okay. Very, very important. Should you do an audiobook? What is the necessary steps for that? Okay, all of those things are in that I want to publish a finished manuscript. Then there's the stage of, okay, I finally have a book in my hand. It's mine, it's real, it's got my name on it, it's got my words on the inside. Now what do I do? How do I help people find my books that are the kind of people who want to read my books? Okay. And how do I focus on that? What are things that I should look for in ways to promote my books? And what are things that simply do not work, or something that have a very high learning curve or a high investment rate in order to use them? And then finally, what if after all of that, or even during all of that, you feel like you just need to talk to somebody one-on-one about your specific project without the generalities of being part of a group in learning? So what I did was I put together a specific group for each of these levels of need. And so you don't have to be by yourself and on your own. Okay. I say all the time, no author is an island, nor should they have to be. And so what I've done is I've created groups that allow you to interact with authors and writers who understand what you're dealing with. Nobody understands what you're dealing with that hasn't gone through it before and isn't going through it right along with you. It allows you to ask your questions in a safe environment that's laser focused on what you need. For instance, if you're in the writing stage of your book, you don't want to hear a bunch of stuff about marketing or about publishing. You're not ready for that yet. These are laser targeted to what you need on the specific need level that you are on your journey. You can ask questions in a safe environment because they're private groups. They're not something that's public, and there is no such thing as a stupid question. You can ask your questions and feel confident that the people who you're participating with are there to help you. You're not going to see a bunch of ads. You're not going to see a bunch of any of that kind of stuff. You're going to get some valid resources and tools that actually work, because I won't promote anything on any of these groups that I haven't already tested myself and know that they work. I don't go by hearsay. That's not my thing. And then finally, monthly classes, live classes, and Q&A sessions to help you hone your skills and to build your understanding of the specific need level that you're at right now. Each one of these need levels gets a class every single month, and those classes are recorded and stored. So let's say that you start this program 6 months after everybody else has. You can go right to the beginning and move right along in the classes, right along with everybody else at your own pace. Okay. I want to see to it that every one of you that come in, if you come in 5 years from now or you come in today, I want to make sure that you get what you need. So I put together some packages, and these are simple. And let me just kind of go through them very quickly for you. The first is the craft hold. The craft hold is about story crafting. It's about writing. It's about how you put together that puzzle in a way that makes sense and that helps you get your questions answered about writing. And the great news about this particular level is there's no cost for this level. It's free. Okay. The other levels, there is a charge, and down below, you're going to see some links that will explain all about that. But the craft hold is for everybody and anybody who wants to write. And it is a public group, but it is monitored. And within that group, every month there is a class. It's free, doesn't cost anything. And you will be able to participate in the Q&A sessions and all that kind of cool and lovely stuff. The classes are held live and they're recorded. So all the recordings are stored on the craft hold level for people who are specifically interested in just writing. Okay. Then there's the guild level. The guild level is about publishing and the publishing industry, how to get your work published the way you want it to be published. And we will cover both self-publishing and traditional publishing, how you get your books into bookstores, how you get your books into libraries, all of that cool and lovely stuff. This is a paid level, but it's a nominal fee. It is a monthly thing. And I promise you that you'll get everything you need. And the cool thing is you get the craft hold thrown right in with that. So you get not only the guild, but the craft hold for the monthly fee. The third is the Market Square. The Market Square is all about how to promote your books to libraries, bookstores, and increase your fan base. It's all about getting found as an author, because let's face it, there are millions of books out there. How does your book get found by your fans? We're not going to promote your book to everybody in the world. The word everybody is the kiss of death where marketing and promoting your books is concerned. And we're going to teach you how to avoid that, how to craft a promotion geared directly to your specific audience, and how to really make a package for your books that pops right off the shelf for people who are looking for what you've got. After 20 years making my living online, actually a lot more than 20 years, but we'll say 20, I know the ins and outs of marketing. And I am going to not only share what I know, but I have a lot of other publishing experts who are going to teach us how to expand our fan base and how to engage them and make them excited that your book is coming out, the next book and the next book and the next book. And finally, I have created a very limited number of VIP spots. Now, the VIP, I'm only allowing 10 people. By the way, all these other things, the Guild and the Market Square are limited to 50 people. We're not going to have 5,000 people chipping in and putting a bunch of spam and stuff on here. No, it's going to be limited to 50 people. The VIP level is limited to 10 people. And with those 10 people, I will spend a half hour every single month speaking to you personally in a recorded call that you can review as often as you want to for 30 minutes. You get 100% of my attention, and we will talk about your book, your project, where you're stuck, where you need help. Okay? So also, something I didn't mention about the Market Square that's very important is we will be doing some group promotions of people's books in various genres. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. We're going to do it together. I've got a newsletter that's going to be going out to lots and lots and lots of people. And we are going to make sure that your books get promoted once they're properly framed and everything's ready to do that. Okay? All right. So the question is, are you ready to get started? Do you really want to go through the learning curve I went through? I don't think so. But if you do, your choice. You're still welcome in the craft hold at any old time. Everybody, it's free. But if you are willing to invest some time and money right now into your writing career, you need to pick the package that's right for you. This will help you to avoid the scams that are out there because there are sharks in the water. I promise you, there are so many scams aimed at writers and people who want to publish their books that will encourage you to spend a bucket load of money, talking thousands of dollars, to get published, and then hear crickets in the background because nobody can find your book and nobody can buy your book or even know that you're even there. Okay. You will learn to use vetted services and tools that actually work. You will save time, effort, and money by doing it right the first time and not making all the mistakes I made. You'll be able to help your fellow authors avoid pitfalls, because if you run into something, you can come in and say, let's say that you run into something in the publishing area that's not on the up and up. You'll be able to post that in the group for publishing specifically and say, look, I ran into this publishing scam, avoid it at all costs. And you will save them. We're going to support one another. Or if you find a marketing or promotion scam out there, or if you have a question, if you find something and go, I don't know if this is on the up and up, you can ask in the group, has anybody used this and had any success with it? All of these things are so incredibly valuable. So how do you get involved in this? How do you find out more? Well, that's easy. Down below are the links that you're going to need. Just go for it. Okay? So I want to help you on your author journey. Notions into motion. It starts with a notion. We're going to put it into motion and help you become a successful author with an entire network at your fingertips of other authors, all striving for the same goals in the same way. Okay? All right. So I'll see you on the other side. Take care, and thank you for answering this invitation today.